Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off is going to get a little interesting and I think very fast. Whale alert. The ever vigilant live tracker for cryptocurrency transactions noted that Ripple, the company, transferred a total of 1 billion XRP tokens from its Escrow wallet on the 2nd of December. The blockchain firm moved the massive amount of tokens into two separate transactions worth around $219 million in total as of press time. Interestingly, the company transferred the exact same amount of tokens back into Escrow only 7 minutes later, this time in 3 separate transactions. Here we go. This isn't the first time that Ripple has executed, and I'm reading what it says, obviously. This isn't the first time that Ripple has executed such enormous transactions. The practice has raised concerns among the XRP community, false, as some of its members fear that Ripple is dumping XRP and crashing the token's price, also false. In August, a change.org petition entitled Stop Ripple Dumping was launched, followed by a more sarcastic petition in September urging Ripple to decrease the dumping of XRP and unleash the utility. The XRP community previously threatened the company's executives with staging a takeover, false, if they did not start to pay attention to those concerns. However, the company insists that it is selling XRP to invest in firms that could help its ecosystem grow and to fund its own operations. We're talking about this because XRP is the number 3 coin in the market. For me not to talk about something like this is a little weird, dare I say. Kind of working backwards. The XRP community, who were talking about staging a takeover of Ripple if the people from Ripple did not start to pay attention to their concerns, was fake. We realized very quickly, and I'm pretty sure I spoke about this as well, and you may have noticed just around the hood, if you are into Ripple and or XRP, you're really into Ripple or XRP. A number of people started popping up on Twitter and on Reddit on different places talking about that they were going to stage a takeover, that they themselves owned 300 XRP and therefore they had enough of a stake in the company to be able to say, no, I'm going to take it over, stop putting XRP back onto the market because I want to make money. The petitions that came out were probably also not from people who were within the XRP community, which is also used as a I'm not going to say slur, but it's used in that way. If you are seen as someone in the XRP community, it is used as a way to kind of downplay, oh, he's simply just someone who's insane. He's simply just someone who's so-and-so. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's obsessed with a centralized coin. He's obsessed with a banker coin. It's a very good way of pushing someone's argument aside if they mention that they are into, have ever bought, purchased, or supported Ripple and or XRP. So that I'm sure you've seen the words XRP community on some sort of social media site when discussing people who have purchased and or own XRP. The second point being, the petitions that were popping up were probably also not from people who actually owned XRP. The first one being called Stop Ripple Dumping, gross, and the second one being called Unleash the Utility. These pretty much came down to the fact that every single month, the people from Ripple release 1 billion XRP tokens into the system, into the stratosphere, into the cryptocurrency space. They sell them. They do so and so. They do whatever they have to do with it within that month. For those of you who do not know, who were not here during the course of 2016 and 2017, a lot of people realized that the Ripple company owns an enormous amount of XRP, the token that was gifted to them by someone else who left the company and created another company. So what ended up happening was that the Ripple company owned a huge amount of XRP. And they were, I think there was a point I got into, people were asking how long I've been into XRP or when I got into XRP. It was when you had to give your computing power to another system to be able to get XRP for free. Very long time ago. There was a system, there was a website where you could actually go to that was, I think, sponsored by Ripple Labs or something like that. And you gave your extra computing power to this company that was making like, what's it called? Things to help cure diseases. I can't think of the exact word right now. You actually got XRP for free. That was the very first way that you were actually able to get XRP. I got it the day they started doing this. I was like, that sounds really cool. Because before the entire idea was of being able to get any Bitcoin for free was like, whoa. So I was like, this is a brand new coin. Let me try and get some for free. It's been a while. In 2017, people realized just how much XRP the Ripple company had, and people were like, whoa, that's way too much. What if you guys decide to just sell all of them onto the market? What if the price ends up hitting like 20 cents, because the price of XRP was below 1 cent back? It was like half of a cent back then. And people were like, what if it goes to 20 cents and you guys just sell the billions that you have? You'll make hundreds of millions and we'll all be left sitting here. So the Ripple company said, okay, that's fine. What we're going to do is, to show you that we're not going to simply offload all of these, we're going to put all these coins into a 5-year escrow, 60 months. Every month, we're going to release 1 billion XRP, because I believe they had 60 billion. That's then tied up with them. And they said, every month, if we have to buy something, if we have to upgrade something, if we have to do this, if we have to do so and so and so, we will use the portion of that billion XRP that we released, and any leftover money ends up going back into an escrow at the end of that month from when they were released. We have numbers. We can see all of this online. All the information is out there. I don't have it here because it's not very relevant to the exact thing that took place. So at some point, people realized that the amount of XRP that they were releasing every single month, a lot of it was actually going back onto the market. Cryptocurrency exchanges were buying them. Other places were buying them, investors were buying them, and Ripple was selling OTC, or over the counter, and people were like, okay, this is a little bit better. We started having a couple of people, I'm sure you know a couple of them, who started popping up and asking, why isn't XRP's price going up? The other coins are going down, but XRP's price should definitely be going up. I don't understand why it's not going up. A lot of people started having or initiating, activating lawsuits against the Ripple company. I'm pretty sure you remember the guy who said, I think when XRP's price went down in 2017, that I believe he said allegedly, I think he lost around $300 or something like that, and therefore that was enough for him to sue the Ripple company. I know a couple of people who lost around 6 figures across the wider cryptocurrency market as prices fell, and they have yet to do any lawsuits because logic. Always remember, if you're in this market, it's your fault. You are choosing to invest in cryptocurrencies, no one else. No one's holding your hand. No one is forcing you to click buy or spend your own money to get into the space. You are doing so as an adult. Always something to keep in mind. Going back to the major first point, this is not the first time. It's actually been a good about 25, 26, 27 times that we've seen the Ripple company release 1 billion XRP from their escrow. It happens every month as it's rotating and it's 60 months, yada, yada, yada. But for some reason, this time was incredibly different. And I'm not exactly sure why. I think I can figure out why. Part of the reason why I think it was 2 things. I think the Ripple company figured out that they were holding too many XRP, and that people were also afraid of them dumping it onto the market. Clearly obvious. The second part is that 2018 was a very huge, I said the word security at least 38 million times over the course of that year. The discussion was how to clarify or classify if a cryptocurrency digital token should be listed as a security. The funniest part is that no one in the cryptocurrency space cared about what a security was because it had no bearing on the cryptocurrency space. However, the moment it was mentioned that XRP could be considered a security by the US Securities and Exchange Commission, Bitcoin maximalists everywhere lost their minds and they said, oh, that's definitely a security. I remember, for those of you who were here at the beginning of 2018 and the end of 2017, raise your hand. How many times did you hear me ever or anywhere else on the internet talk about the word security? 0 times. We didn't even mention it. I think there was once that the SEC came forward because they were having a little bit of a spousal battle over how certain coins could potentially be seen or how this could be ruled over, yada, yada, yada. We never really spoke about it. The moment that there was a potential that the Ripple company holding a majority stake of XRP tokens that they could then be considered as a security, set the cryptocurrency space ablaze, and everyone was like, your coins are security, you get a security, you get a security. I'm not joking. This is exactly how it was. For those of you who were here in 2018, you remember. It became a very big thing because a number of Bitcoin websites, a lot of them who are no longer here anymore, started declaring that this coin was a security. This was, I mean, we had it for Litecoin. People were saying that Ether was a security, XRP was a security, EOS was a security, Cardano was a security, Tron was a security. It went across the entire board, but the number 3 coin definitely got the hugest amount of force against it. So what ended up happening was, and this is once again, a lot of this part right here is my take on it. What I think ended up happening was, because we saw the SEC coming forward multiple times, shutting down different cryptocurrency projects, foundations, corporations, companies over and over and over throughout the course of 2018, and people kept on saying Ripple's next. Ripple's gonna be next. And I was like, I don't really think so, because the team of Ripple, their not their management team, the people who like sit on their board are people from the SEC, from the CFTC. I think one is from the International Monetary Fund. I think one is also from the World Bank, and one's also from the people who made the BIT license in New York. I was like, I'm pretty sure that they're fine. What ended up happening was, to kind of bring it all home, I figured that at some point, a classification or a rule within the actual classification of being a security might have flickered for the Ripple team, and it might have had to do with how many XRP that they simply owned at the time. So I said in a video, I would not be surprised if they're simply selling off XRP to make sure that they get to the point where they own a minority stake, around 49.9% of it, and therefore any classification of a security will simply be thrown out the window. However, it's going to take a while for them to be able to do so, because they're only able to access 1 billion of the 60 billion of the coins per month, and therefore it'll take a while for them to be able to sell them off, yada, yada, yada. The idea had then been, at about 19 months after this began, accurate number, around 19 months, that the people from Ripple were simply then offloading their coins, as opposed to the thing that they told us in 2017 that they were going to do for the community, because the community wanted it. Other people started popping up. I think a lot of people were very upset that the coin itself, the number 3 coin, didn't fall out of grace, didn't fall out of the spot. I think a lot of people, especially Bitcoin maximalists, if you listen to, I listen to all facets of podcasts. A lot of people do not like XRP, and they're usually people who've either been, their brain has been cleaned, brainwashed in some sort of way, or they've been told over the course of a period of time, this is evil, this is evil, this is evil, without realizing what they're being told is actually evil. These people, and like I said, on the podcast I listen to, they will mention coins in the top 10, and they actively go out of their way to just not mention the letters XRP. The entire point being, the rhetoric came up that the people from Ripple were simply then randomly nowhere, even after we knew in 2017 what they were going to do, that they were dumping their stuff onto the market to push down the price of XRP. This is what people said. Push down the price of XRP to make it more attractive for other people to be able to buy for their friends, their yada, 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 so and so and so. And therefore, at some point, the people from Ripple would dump all their tokens onto the market, which is not possible as they're in a 60-month escrow, in order to flood the market, and so and so. The entire idea was that the people from Ripple didn't care about XRP, and this is why they were dumping it on the market. If you've paid attention at all to any of my other videos, as a majority holder of XRP, the people who care the most about XRP are the people who hold the majority of it. I'm trying to say nice things, because the cryptocurrency space sometimes can be very, I don't want to use the word ignorant, but people follow each other very easily simply because they've heard something from someone else. To bring it on home, this is the first time that we've really seen something really weird like this. The Ripple team got their billion XRP from the escrow. They transferred it, and 7 minutes later, it was transferred back into escrow. Here's the actual tweet right here, one of the tweets from Whale Alert. It says 500 million XRP transferred from Ripple Escrow wallet to Ripple. And then you start getting to the cryptocurrency websites when they're talking about it. It becomes very apparent that a lot of people simply don't, once again, like Ripple and or XRP. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says 1 billion XRP worth $225 million released from Escrow. Is it still okay to hold Ripple's token? This one says unlocked from Escrow, yada, yada, yada. And depending on where you look, it kind of, whatever. What I think is going on, for those of you also not looking at the screen, it says Ripple unlocks 1 billion XRP. This was in September. Promises to sell less in September. I don't know if it's simply that the people from Ripple have, I'm pretty sure they've gotten the okay that they're not a security at this point. We've gone over this conversation. I'm pretty sure that's not even a factor at this point. What I think is happening is that the people from Ripple simply don't have to sell as much XRP as they did before. There's a lot of speculation. I don't know exactly what's happening with it at this very second in time. I don't know if they've re-released the XRP. It's probably a combination of they don't have to sell as much as they were selling before. They promised in September to start selling less, and a lot of people are actually speculating that them sending it back may also have been simply that they don't have to sell it, they have enough funds, or that simply they're going to start slowing down the actual selling of XRP and simply hold what they hold. No one knows for certain. All of this is speculation. That's the craziest part. But the number of websites out there who were talking about, yeah, they're going to keep dumping it. Is it okay to hold it? There's a problem. Is there a so-and-so? Were completely out of control. No one knows. That's part of the magic of it. We are not Ripple the company. Unless you work for Ripple the company and you know exactly what's going on, you can't really say for certain. The number of partnerships, there's not really much more to say. I mean, I'm kind of tapped out when it comes to this entire discussion. I don't care if you don't like me talking about Ripple. I don't care if you don't like me talking about XRP. What you care about that comes out of my mouth is none of my concern. It doesn't affect my money. You should really be worrying about your own pockets. If you don't care about XRP that much, don't take the time out of your day to belittle other people in the comment section, whether it be on my channel, on any other channel. It makes you look crazy. I don't know how to make it in any other clearer terms. I don't like Tron. I don't like Lumens. I don't like a couple of other coins, but you don't see me going onto other channels talking negatively to other people who like those coins. Have something better to do with your own time. I assume if this re-happens again in January, we will receive information from someone somewhere, if not the Ripple company, within the next couple of days as to why it was retransferred back into the Escrow wallet. If they are indeed planning on selling less XRP, if the ones that come out of the Escrow will simply remain there as they have no use for them anymore, the Ripple company is extremely rich. Not even the coins that they are escrowing. In general, the people who are on their board of directors and the amount of investors in their pockets are enormous. They are a very rich company. The last thing they would want logically, now stay with me here, the last thing that they would want is something that they hold to lose value. Imagine you owning 100 apartments. Just going to throw it out there. Would you logically make sure that you decrease the market so that you lose money? Probably not. They're doing the escrow thing because they mentioned in 2017 that they were going to do the escrow thing. It was pretty certain and is going to continue on. They haven't even given like an end date for it. It's going to be a continual loop of this happening potentially forever and ever. Anyway, no one knows. His name is Kant. No one knows why it was sent back. However, we know that it was sent back. And we'll get more news eventually. And without further ado, I was going to say, please let me know what you think in the comment section of what happened. That's dangerous. That is very, very dangerous because people would simply just lose their minds. But it is quite fascinating to see this taking place. I had once assumed that they were going to simply try and get to the below 50% rate of XRP ownership. But lo and behold, here we are. I'm sure we're going to get more news about this in about a day or two. I'm almost certain of it. Next up, Tokyo-based SoftBank, a multinational conglomerate holding company, is introducing its own SBC wallet card called SoftBank Card 3.0. That sounds fancy, which works like a traditional debit card and has a built-in cryptocurrency wallet. According to the announcement, the card has been created through a partnership with Wallet Card development firm. I thought they were called Wallet Card. A partnership with Wallet Card development firm Dynamics. SBC wallet cards aim to provide improved security and better accessibility when compared to traditional wallets. The cards have their own encryption system and can perform both hot and cold wallet functions, legal, currency, storage function, credit card function, electronic payment function. In the version of SoftBank Card 3.0, the Wi-Fi function, the fiat and digital currency switching buttons, and the information display screen are integrated in the Wi-Fi module. The SBC implements a hot wallet when the Wi-Fi function, who has a Wi-Fi function on their card? Is there like a switch? Is turned on, and a cold wallet when the Wi-Fi is turned off. Not paid advertising. I don't do that on this channel. 2, the point being, a financial giant called SoftBank in Tokyo has furthered their entrance into the cryptocurrency space. We keep getting news reports as of late that more banks are into crypto, that they are allowing crypto, that they're so and so, or even giving cryptocurrency cards to allow you to pay with your cryptocurrency. And I think a lot of this is getting lost in the fuzz of the prices going down. I wonder what prices are going to do when we do eventually maybe have a movement up in price. And when we have to recompensate for 2 years of news that just kind of got lost in the ether. We have constant good news, but none of it is really being absorbed by the public. What happens when it does, and everyone starts going crazy and realizing that they can do all these things with cryptocurrencies and with their bank and with the new crypto card and yada, yada, yada. Hold on. Wait. No. I was going to tell you a story that a friend told me about someone he knew with her Bitcoin, but that's no. All right. Anyway, SoftBank, another bank getting into the cryptocurrency space, and that I can't tell you the story. It's actually kind of insane. Let's move on. Next up, the South African Reserve Bank, or the SARB, the country's central bank, is purportedly going to issue or impose new regulations for the use of digital currencies in a bid to deter users from evading currency controls. A local business-focused publication, Business Report, reported on the 2nd of December, SARB's Deputy Governor, Nubin Naidu, said that the new rules will be implemented in the first quarter of 2020 following a 5-year-long series of consultations on the matter. 5 years. Naidu's statements follows a decision of First Rand Bank, one of the largest financial institutions in South Africa, to discontinue providing banking service to digital currency exchanges in late November. FNB reportedly blamed regulatory uncertainty for the move. The blockchain and crypto communities have already responded to the idea of further controls on cryptocurrency. South African blockchain development community SA Crypto said the implementations of the SARB clamping down on cryptocurrency use for the purpose of stricter capital controls are far-reaching and alarming. 1, this is another country who is giving us cryptocurrency regulations. Whoop-de-doo. 2nd, I have a feeling, I have not seen the exact extent of what the report says. However, I'm going to assume that they're probably not going to be the most gentle when they are released or known, etc., etc. There are a lot of countries, I mentioned this before, during a race, not everyone can win. Not everyone can get 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or 15th place. It's just how things are. There are going to be a number of places on this planet that are going to be left behind. And that's not your fault. That's not your mother's fault. That's not your friend's fault. It is whoever is implementing the harsh regulations. Like, I don't know how harsh these are. But we've seen before in the past, many times, when a country who also, in my opinion, is widespread across the globe, could benefit from opening their doors to cryptocurrencies, chooses not to do so, they usually get a brain drain and people simply leave their country. So we will see how this develops. However, this is yet again another country. I think we almost have all of them now. All of the air quote major financial hubs of the planet who have given cryptocurrency regulations, except for about a good handful of 5. You know which ones they are. The other ones who don't do anything favorable will not get the money, especially when they're in a situation where they could easily make sure that they get tons of money. Shout out to the countries who have a 0% tax rate on cryptocurrencies. Anyway, yeah, here's the actual information right here from Business Report. It says SARB plan for new rules using digital currency. I wish them the best. If you're trying to stop people from evading capital controls, learn how a blockchain works. The moment we get private transactions on top of Litecoin, and we know that it works with Mimblewimble, and that it's able to be implemented on top of Bitcoin, all bets are off. I think that a lot of places around the world still think that we are in the 1980s, and you can cut a cord and the entire transmission stops, not realizing that's not how finance is going to work in the future. That's just what I have to say about it. It's just realistic. Let's move on. Next up, Binance, the second largest crypto exchange by daily volume, has announced support for Tezos staking, according to an announcement published yesterday. Starting today, Binance's users will be able to trade with Tezos rewards to be calculated daily based on live snapshots and distributed monthly. The distribution is set to end before the 20th of January and a week, and after that on the 20th day of each following month. So I guess it's a month long. Got it. Binance said that users must hold at least one Tezos in order to qualify for staking rewards. Tezos is currently trading at $1.30. Binance's Changpeng Zhao hinted at the possibility of staking in September, when the exchange initially listed the coins with 3 trading pairs: Bitcoin, Tether, and Binance Coin. Other major exchanges have already added Tezos staking, Coinbase being one of the main ones. I don't think there's no. I'm confused. Which was the cryptocurrency exchange that allowed you to hold Bitcoin with them, and you got like 4 or 5% back per year? I need to find that out again. There's definitely, I don't think it was Binance. There's definitely one, like if you hold your Bitcoin with them, they give you like a return in Bitcoin. Anyway, Tezos once again pops up on the cryptocurrency news scene. I assume this is because of what I spoke about with Tezos before. I assume it is, I can't find the words for it. I feel like it's being pushed on people as a way of getting them into the cryptocurrency space, or simply getting people excited because you can do something with the coin. There are many other proof of stake coins that they could have added, but a couple platforms have only added Tezos. I'm going to assume, if all goes well, in 2020, that we are probably going to see Ether launched as a staking whatever on multiple platforms as well, which would be quite interesting. I can't remember which. Does anyone remember which one it was? There was some platform that you could put your Bitcoin on and you would get a return on it. I don't know if it just simply wasn't like a major name and that's why I can't remember it. Anyway, the point being, Tezos staking is now on Binance. I'm going to assume many other cryptocurrency exchanges are going to do the exact same thing. Tezos seems to be the golden child that every single exchange is going towards as far as the staking and stuff like that. I'm still not going to buy Tezos myself, but if you have Tezos and you've been looking to stake it, is it called like oven heating or something? Like, what is it called on baking? It's called baking on Tezos. I think it's called baking. I hope it's called baking. Go for it. A lot of people seemingly sometimes trust Binance a bit more than Coinbase. Coinbase is Coinbase. Here's the actual announcement right here. It says Binance will support zero-fee Tezos staking And yeah, let's move on. To kind of finish things off, this might be the most absurd thing I have heard in a very long. This is even more absurd than the whole Ripple thing. A Danish court has ruled that Scandinavian financial services giant Nordea can bar or restrict its employees from owning Bitcoin and other digital currencies. Once again, a court has ruled that a financial services agency can stop their employees from owning cryptocurrencies. As BNN Bloomberg reported on the 3rd of December, the court justified the restriction by citing the purported risks associated with cryptocurrencies. However, the ruling did not apply to financial instruments associated with digital currencies Nordea has sold to customers, interesting, as well as to any cryptocurrency that employees might have invested in before the restriction. So if you did it before, you're totally fine. But now you cannot. Denmark's Union for Financial Industry Employees has filed suit against Nordea, claiming that the ban interfered with employees' personal lives. Kent Peterson, the union's chairman, said, "We filed suit because of the principle that everyone obviously has a private life, right? And the right to act as a private individual. Yup, it was important for us and other members to establish what rights members have. In this case, it was more far-reaching than what we find to be appropriate." Can you imagine? So, to put this into context, they were told that they can't invest in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies because it might interfere with what they're doing at the job, as if cryptocurrencies is some type of drug that they will be influenced with by during as they're working. As far as I know, there aren't many other jobs. I'll put it to you this way. Can you imagine your job telling you, yeah, we don't want you investing in gold or silver because the price fluctuates sometime and we're afraid that it might mess with you as an employee, so don't do it. How do you even get to the conclusion as a court to rule that people in their private lives can't do what it's absurd. I saw this multiple places and I thought it was a joke. I thought I was simply misreading it. I thought that maybe something was lost in translation. Maybe I read the wrong line. Nope, it says what it says. I'm certain members of other banks, institutions, yada, 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 are probably legally allowed to own stock, to own real estate, to own precious metals, to own barrels of petrol if they so choose to do so. I tore my pants. This obvious hate against cryptocurrencies is so weird. And this is why whenever I hear news like this, it doesn't get me down. It actually makes me more excited for the growth of the cryptocurrency space, because stuff like this, you won't physically, mentally, or digitally be allowed to do things like this in the future. We will probably not get a lot more news about this unless there's like a favorable outcome. But the fact that anyone would think, do you understand how absurd that is? Can you imagine your job telling you, we don't want you owning property because it might affect how you do your work? What could Bitcoin possibly do to the employees of a financial services agency that would stop them from doing their jobs properly? Nothing. There are probably people, the higher ups at that place, who probably own crypto. Like, do you know anyone at work who owns crypto, who goes into work like dizzy and like they can't type on their computer and they're like, man, I gotta go home. I bought too much Bitcoin last night. Absolutely absurd. Here's the actual article right here from BNN Bloomberg. It says Nordea wins Danish court battle to ban staff trading in Bitcoin on their own personal time. Not even from trading crypto during work hours. That I could totally see. That, you could get lost in that. It's free to prevent its employees from investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in their own time. How nonsensical is this world? as always, a very special thank you. That's the dumbest thing I've ever read in my entire life. It doesn't get it. I wonder where these institutions, these banks who are stopping Bitcoin, stopping this. Remember the really big thing that we had where JP Morgan told its employees, if you buy Bitcoin, you're going to be fired, which is what? Can you imagine someone being like, if you buy that piece of gold, dude, you're done. Like, what goes through people's heads that you can't tell people what they can and can't buy? It doesn't make any sense unless it's something that can like really harm other people, that's like harmful to society. Got it. That's cool. You can't tell people that they can't buy a piece of code. What is going on? What's going on in this world? And the worst part is, I mentioned this one other time before a while ago. The same companies and institutions who are telling people you can't do so are probably doing it themselves. And the moment the prices end up skyrocketing, they'll start offering services to other people to be able to deal in cryptocurrencies, while you told me 2 years ago that I couldn't. Do you know any job that told their employees you can't buy a house? You can't buy gold and silver? You can't buy a stock or a bond or a security? You can't buy Apple stock? It doesn't exist. How do you think you have that? That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I'm going to try and compose myself. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Bare Bones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohammed Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple MNJ, Jared Schneider, Why Is That Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Milweezy, Mick Nick, whoa, said that word a bit too hard, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist Cole D3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas, Run Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hits Chest Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, yes, to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Sammy Buucha, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, and Shoop Shoop, Diddy Wop, Hummer Wang Dang. Thank you all very, very much for your support. The moment cryptocurrency prices, some of them are trying to go into the green. I don't know how long they'll stay there. We had a little jump up. I assume we're going to have a little jump down. We're seeing reports once again that Bitcoin is looking... I mean, you want to be honest? Here's everything I read. Bitcoin looks like it's going to aim below 7,000. Another one said Bitcoin looks like it's aiming to go above 8,000. Ethereum looks like it's poised to drop further. Ethereum's upgrade is coming very soon, so Ethereum looks like it could be going up much higher. XRP has stopped their sell-off of XRP from Ripple, and therefore the price looks poised to go higher. Ripple keeps dumping coins onto the space, and therefore the price is going to go down. I've seen it all. You name it. I've really seen all of it as far as where it goes for news. And it's always a 50-50 as well. It's never a everyone consensusly wise comes forward saying where the prices are going to go. It's always a good and a bad for every single coin, depending on which website you look at or what kind of news you're trying to absorb. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Is it still okay to hold Ripple's token? No one knows. To be fair, this is also a website called Bitcoinist. It's probably relatively clear where they're leaning towards, but still, I wish people were just more centered when they came to their articles, so people got the actual news and simply not something that is all willy-nilly all over the place. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all. So this is absurd. I'll be talking to you all soon. See you.